Hi, this is going to be part 2 of the mechanical rigging tutorial in 3dsmax. So first, let's take a look at what we're going to do in this part. I have set up FK controls. Then we have these yellow ones. They are showing what position, what orientation the FK controls need to be to match the IK. So if we align, we'll now get the IK position. This is useful for like if you're animating and you don't want the excavator to move in a straight line, you would like it to move in an arc, you just set the IK where you want it to be and you move it and you key with aligning. And then we are going to create these procedural sliders and hook them up to the IK blend. These sliders are procedural, like I can change the size. Yeah, so let's get started. So first, let's just take a look at what we did last time. So we rigged this arm with IK from this control. And we made it so we can move it in world space or local space. So now we are going to make the FK controls and sliders for blending between IK and FK. First, let's make a procedural slider. Just make it here by the side. I'll call this slider parent. And I'm going to instance this one and call it slider max. And copy, make slider control. Let's just make it a bit bigger. And I want the radius of these ones to be half that one. So let's just access the graph editor, radius, expression. Let's just call that R for radius. So if you isolate the object you want to use the control from, it's much easier. You get just that object here in the big window. R divided by 2. Yes. And I want to link these two to the parent. And I want this to be limit to, so this should be the max. Position X, we're going to put a float limit. The lower limit is going to be 0 on the upper limit, we are going to use this copy. We can just copy the controller and instance it in the upper limit here. Yes. Let's just set some colors. And let's make a border around. I'm going to use a rectangle. Link that to the 0. And we want the rectangle to be between the parent and max. So we're going to use an position constraint for that. And then we need to set the weight of the position constraint to 50%. So now it will be right between. And then we need to set the length, or I guess the width in this case. Yeah, the width. So let's see here. You see here, now I got all of these to pick through. Isolate, assign, X position. But I want it to stop here and leave a little bit of a gap. So I'm gonna need the radius of this one as well. Radius. And I'll need to add and divide it by 2 because we need it on both sides. Times 2. And I also want a small gap, so let's multiply by 1.2. And I want to set up this length as well. So let's just copy it, put it on a length, not instance copy because we need to change it. We're going to set R times 1/2, so we get a gap here as well. And I want this to have 100 corners. So let's copy that. The corner radius. This should be an instance. No, sorry. Not an instance. Because it should be the radius and not the diameter. Then we want this slider to give us a value between 0 and 1. 0 here, 1 here. So we actually want to create the value for the slider on a helper here. Going to like this. Let's just make the box. Call that slider value. I'm just going to put it on the C position here. I'm going to need the max position and the controller position. Control. Here. And then the slider X position. Then it's just control divide by mx. Let's press debug just to check here. Zero, 1. So I used expression controllers instead of the wiring parameters, because often when you copy stuff and you have instances and not instances, often parameter wiring breaks. But this should break if I copy. You have to scrub it a little bit. Yeah. So now we are going to make the IK controllers. Let's just make it circles. We need to put them upright. We want it to be the rotation to be 0 when it's vertical like this. So we go to Effect, Pivot, Align to World. Maybe make it a bit smaller. Yeah. FK arm. FK broom here. FK cap. Then we're going to reset the pivot again. This needs to be larger. Yeah. I think I forgot to name this, by the way. Link this up, so we want this to be linked to that. And this one to be linked to the previous link in that chain, the red chain. Then we're going to use controller instances again. So copy the FK control Y rotation and just paste it on here. As instance. Nothing works at the moment because the orientation constraint weight is 100. Copy. Paste instance. And for this is going to be the C rotation. Then we're just going to copy this slider value expression and just paste it on the orientation constraint weight. So here again we can just copy it instance. If you need to do any changes on the expression itself, you can just do it here instead of finding the helper inside the model, because we are instance it. Then we're going to take this slider value, weight, orientation constraint, paste, instance. Let's take this third slider, weight, orientation constraint, and paste this instance. But we will now see a problem because the orientation constraints here are set to world space, and now you see this arm has also a rotation, so it will break, but that's easy to fix. In the orientation constraints, it's set to world, we need to set it to local. This one and the boom arm local. And then for this to work properly, we're going to, when we need to have the IK turned on, we need this one to be turned off. So for that, we just copy controller here and paste it here, not as an instance, because we're going to take the reverse, so 1 minus. And now you see here, this is 100, this is 0. So this is 0, this is 100. Same for this one. Copy it, paste as a copy, double click to edit, 1 minus. But you see here, these FK controls don't have any limits. So let's set up that as well. Let's just see the IK control. So let's check here what we set up as limit on this one. Minus 58 to 7. Seven minus 58. And this one was minus 10 to 35. Minus 10 to 45. What is that? Oh, minus 10. Yes. This one we don't want to limit. Then we are going to set up something I call an FK-IK hybrid. That is going to be targets that we can use to align the FK to get the IK solution. Call it target arm. Align to world. I'm going to make that one a bit smaller. 3. Make it yellow. Link it to the previous red one. Target boom. Link it to that one. Target cab. A bit smaller. And these are basically going to be orientation constraint to the IK helpers and put them in local. Okay, so it's a bit hard to see now because it's a circle. Normally I would add like an arrow or something. Just like that or something. Forgot this one. So these yellow helpers will show the orientation for getting this IK solution without having the IK turned on. Just align. Like that. Because sometimes when you animate, you may want the grabber here follow an arc instead of just a straight line you get via IK. So this is a way to do that. And you can of course put some names on this one. Just a note on these sliders is that if you already have animated it, so this is 0 to 1, and if you move this one, the slider value will no longer be 1. So after you have set it up, you probably want to lock it so you don't accidentally move them. You could of course also link the size here to the radius here, but I'm not bothering with that now. Let's just see. Move the icon control, the targets here, move that as it should. We have the blend here. Okay, so I think that's it for this episode. Next episode, I think we're going to take a look at the grabber mechanism here, and maybe the tracks here, if we got time for that. Yes, thank you for watching.